G'day gamers. Today I'm playing Get Out on Steam. I'll be showing you the fastest way through the Lesnaya Station to get to Lubech City. We'll be skipping the tutorial, but if it's your first time, there's a few new concepts they introduce, so that's recommended. This Lesnaya Station area is the beginner area. There's no PvP, so you probably want to get through as quick as possible. First thing you do is equip the revolver and equip the knife, and we'll read this note as it's an optional extra but recommended to get the TOZ-34 Shotgun. We'll head towards the station straight away and we'll cut through the swamp and start looking for components for our quests. This is going to take a little while as your stamina drains, and you'll only be able to walk rather than sprint when you're out. So once you stay in the water, you can look for white objects around the water, and that would be the Calamus. You might encounter other flowers and other things like that, and that might be useful to take as well, to sell. So it's fairly quick, so we'll pick them up on the way. It's a little bit windy, and there's rats in the swamp, of course. You don't want to walk through the middle of these swamps because when you're in deep water, you slow down and your stamina disappears. Trying to avoid the deep water here. I've been playing Stay Out recently and noticed that there's a lot of Russian content, but not so much English. So in order to help other people, I thought I'd put out some content. So here's one of the Calamus. I intend to do some more quest guides because I've had a lot of problems with some quests and finding information about them have been difficult. There's a lot of Russians on the game because it was initially released in Russia as Stalker Online, and I noticed previously put on Steam as S-Zone Online. So if you hear those Stalker Online and S-Zone Online, it's referring to Stay Out. Here's the Watchman in the station. We want to talk to him and get the quest. So we have to find the copper wire from TVs and radios. It's only on one of them randomly. We'll grab this quest from Station Huckster as well. And grab some ammo. $20 should be enough. We'll just grab some water before we go. The water is next to this guy. We'll head to this area to get the copper wire. In this area there is dogs, so we have to be careful of them. But usually 1 or 2 shots should get rid of them. Either run away or kill them. If you hit enemies in the head, generally you get a critical shot. So that was on the TV there, but it could have been in any of those 2 piles. Heading up to the end of the train tracks for the anomaly and show you how to use the magnetic grip device, or MGD. Just picking up some loot, flowers to sell later. That's optional. So far it's pretty standard for like a open world game. You can explore the whole map. What's new in this, I believe, compared to other games I've played similar, is the anomalies. And we'll just see one coming up here. If you get too close, you start getting radiation effects. The Huckster actually gives you some anti-rad. We'll equip the MGD. Move it aside and charge. Just notice how the batteries disappeared. We'll turn it on. So we'll have to get close enough so the dot is inside the small, but not too close to get radiated, and we'll start. So you get a sequence of 5 either numbers or arrows, and hitting them in the sequence will pick up the artifact. Not all anomalies have artifacts, but that one was a set quest one. So we'll be running back to the station to turn in those 2 quests. So we'll head for the Watchman and give him the copper wire. And turn in the artifact and get the next quest. Alright, now we have to fly in Vladimir, and he'll be in the next part of the quest. We'll have to go over there, but we'll take the road because it's a bit safer. We can cut through here, but we don't want to run through the forest. Forest will go into the junkyard, which has a lot of dogs. cache there, but there was nothing in it. Now you can still get dogs on the road, but it's easier to see them from a distance and easier to deal with them. Like 2 shots with the revolver should finish them off. You can definitely see a lot further on the road, and you won't get multiple dogs just running out at you. There's one, but fairly easy to deal with. There's some farmland to the left with anomalies. If you want to stick around on this map to explore. And even further to the left is some forest, which you can pick flowers. To the right is the junkyard, which has dogs. Now that we're out of the forest area, we can cut through here. There's a small radiation patch which we're cutting past on the left. So you want to avoid that since we didn't take the anti-radiation tablets. And we'll just sprint through here. It's a little safe zone in here. And we'll talk to Vladimir. We'll go through the story here just so we get the full dialogue, and we can progress in the optional quest to get the shotgun. So there's a cache for ammo. There's multiple locations for the cache. This is the station quest, so to progress in that one. I'm just having a look where this one is. This is actually a new one for me. So the cache is over this area, which is a bit out of the way, so we might not go through there. But if it's one of the closer ones, I'll show you those ones. So we have to get, I think it was 4 dog ears or something like that. The English on this game can be a bit sketchy at times. 10 in those ears. Now this is where you start collecting those Calamus that we started picking up earlier. So that's over in this area of the map. Place a mark. But on the way I'll show you where the caches were. So when it tells you where the caches are near the water tower. Oh, this is a flower, no. So the water tower cache is just here. This is how they look. It's just behind the water tower. Sorry, just got a little bit mixed up there. On our way to the flowers, Calamus, there's this house in the middle of the swamp. This is part of the optional quest, so we'll talk to this guy. He gives you information about Charon, which was the guide in the tutorial, if you went through that. Okay, so we're near where the flowers are at the moment. Well, we'll pick at these. There's 3 that spawn from the quest. You can tell the 3 specifically from the ones that spawn because they pick up instantly, whereas you have a looting bar for the other ones. So the cache spawns near the bridge sometimes, but I got one in a different area, but it's out of the way, so yeah, we're not going to grab that at all. It's only optional, and I think it's just ammo. So now that we got 3 or 4 Calamus, we'll head back to that house with the Stalker guy. But we're not talking to him, we're continuing our quest. So just look around for the doghouse. And it's over there, a few rats around. There's this can zone. You should put the Calamus, so you lose 3 of the Calamus. We head to D6-2. We're looking for a tree, like a gnarled tree. And there'll be a flower underneath. Yeah, don't want to walk through the deep water there. just pick up some of that to sell. Could be this one. Yeah, looks like it's this one. It says Calamus root. It only appears once you've put the Calamus in the can. Now we'll head back to Vladimir. But it's best to collect up 12 of those meats before you make a campfire and cook up the meats. There's a quest for it, but there's no real reward, so I never do this. So we want to go into the warehouse as part of the optional part. Yeah, sometimes you have to initiate the conversation again to get the options that you want. So I'll just sell all the stuff extra that I got. We won't be needing that. It gives a fairly good price for them. So we have our tincture, but we want to do oh yes, there it is, the warehouse quest. The warehouse entrance is at the water tower I showed you earlier. You can actually get radiation from the warehouse, so we're going to run up to this and do it as quick as possible. Now we go into the second one on the left, and it's just the green box to the left. So that's a shotgun and 20 shells. We want to start running straight away to avoid that radiation from that tower. Now we'll be heading back towards the station. Since we'll be cutting through about the middle of the map, we won't be encountering as many dogs as a bit lower because of the dump. It's marked with a red circle and cross on the map. So we're getting close to finishing up this area. And finishing in about half an hour is about par. Once you turn in, he takes back the magnetic grip device. But even if you get it back off him, it'll disappear out of your inventory when you leave this area. There's still a lot of other quests to do, but they're not as rewarding as the next area, so other than the shotgun, I'd just advise getting the shotgun and then leaving this area. And that'll bring you to the Lubech station. It'll enable the PvP, so you'll have to be a little bit careful around people. Some will just shoot you, even though there's not a lot of benefit for them. We just talk to this guy, and that's the end of that area. Let's go! Make sure you're done in this area before you progress, because you can't go back. But like I said, it's not as rewarding as progressing into the next area. There's very limited stuff you can get. So thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you enjoyed and learnt something.